Why would I ever prepare for this podcast is the real question, Will.
I think we prepare our whole lives for each episode.
That's right. You can't take away, a combined 60 years of prep for this episode?
Mm-hmm.
All for Super Bowl 56? And
56 of them? Really? Already?
Yep.
Damn.
We are older than
combined.
Combined, we are older than there are Super Bowls. So
that is a tough pill to swallow, let me tell you.
Yeah. Welcome to the That's Good Broncos podcast. Today, Will and I are going to make the final Super Bowl picks for the Patreon Pick'em League. See where we stand there. We're going to do that first, and then we'll get into all relevant Broncos news, which there's some news on the ownership front. Nathaniel Hackett is cleaning house in terms of coaches, and maybe Aaron Rodgers makes an announcement tonight at the NFL Honors about his intentions for the following season. At least that's according to some talk on the Pat McAfee show. Today's episode brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when you sign up at DraftKings. And, of course, my fucking coffee. Benchwarmerbrew.com. That's right. It's right there. You can buy it. You don't have to, but it's coffee. It's good. All right, well, let's just get into these picks because I don't want to keep everybody waiting for the picks. It's the final game. We'll take a look at the group here. This is for the Patreon Pick'ems. We are currently in 20th, so we suck.
It's okay.
We suck. It was really the championship round, 50 points. That hurt. But in first place, we got Eric T. and Nicholas Uez. Go Chargers, go. And Kevin.
Go Chargers.
Second place. Look at Kevin's in second. Then you got
Kevin, jacked as
Thomas Abraham, Sean Parker.
Napster.
And, why is 27-16? Oh, so I guess they're saying that's a tie there. And then Steve. We got Steve coming up the pipe there, Steve Tarr. And, yeah. All right. So down in 20, here we are. Look at us lowlifes down here at 20 and our fellow lowlifes.
Joel Crow at 30th place.
Wow, Joel.
What does that say? 20th?
Yeah.
Can't tell. Yeah, he's going to be eating crow, I tell you what.
Those are the standings. So this is the last round of picks.
Sounds about right.
Yes. Yes.
Sorry, guys. You pay for this.
You pay for the wordplay. All right. Bengals, Rams, Super Bowl. We're going to start at the bottom for all the fun bets, and then we'll make the game. Wow, there's a lot here. Okay. Well, this kind of gives away our
big
pick.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Who?
Well, let's save that one.
Okay.
Should we?
Over, under. Let's start with over, under.
Okay.
49.5 points scored in this game, Will.
Oh, man.
61% of the people are saying over 49.5.
I'm trying to think of my final score.
I think it's over.
I think it's over.
It's tough because the Rams defense has been very stingy. They are allowing fewer points right now than the Bucs were last postseason. Their rushing yards per game is insanely low, like 54. But I don't think they faced anybody like Joe Burrow yet. I don't think they faced anybody who you can't take away their will. Joe Burrow's will cannot be taken away.
They did beat Tom Brady. Let's try to remember that.
But you have to have a soul to have will, and Tom ain't got no soul.
No, he forfeited that a long time ago.
Long time.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over here. Why would you bet the under? Who is rooting for that?
Nobody.
Either bet the over or don't bet, in my opinion.
Okay. Who will make the longest field goal? Matt Gay or Evan McPherson? Wow.
Yeah, I'm taking Money McPherson on this one.
Yeah. I mean, we've made so many jokes. Yeah, we made so many jokes about Matt Gay not being able to kick it more than 47 yards.
Yeah.
It would just be off-brand at this point for us to take Matt Gay.
It's borderline homophobic.
Ooh. Yeah. This is going to come back to haunt us, isn't it?
It could. Yeah, in the form of a compilation. Will there be a defensive or special teams touchdown? Great question.
Ooh. Wow.
There's never been a punt return touchdown in Super Bowl history.
Damn.
I don't think that really changes because there's like 1 or 2 punt return touchdowns all season.
Yeah, this was a bad year for return TDs.
Punters are getting too powerful. Trying to think of the returners for each team. Powell, I think, for the Rams. And then, I don't know. I feel like it's the Super Bowl. Just put Jamar Chase back there.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to return one on Johnny Hecker, though. You know? Like, he's just too good. I don't
see that happening either. Yeah.
Defensive. There could be a kickoff touchdown for, Jordan Norwood for the Broncos. He got close. He had, a 60-yard return in Super Bowl 50. I mean, you're kind of guessing, like, is there going to be a pick six, maybe? A strip I feel like
Stafford does have a pick six in him somewhere.
He might.
I could see maybe Jesse Bates comes away with a pick six. Von Miller strip sack.
Yeah,
let's just say yes. Touchdown. Yeah, yeah, why not?
69% of the people are saying no. We got nothing to lose. We're in
bad business. Picking yes, but we're trying to have fun here.
We're having fun. Oh wow! Who will record more sacks? 84% say Aaron Donald over Trey Hendrickson. Ooh, I don't know about that. Like, I think the Rams. If you're taking Aaron Donald, I think you're not considering other guys for LA getting to the QB. And I think that's kind of been their recipe lately, where Aaron Donald is a disruptor, and that's allowing guys like Von Miller, Leonard Floyd, other playmakers up front to get to the QB. So it's just Hendrickson and Hubbard over there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cincy's best bet here, because we talked about in the preview episode, it's been a revolving door kind of at right guard for them between Adeniji and Jackson Carman, and they definitely had their ups and downs against Kansas City, but they're a big reason why Burrow had to make so many plays and get out of the pocket a few times late in that game. I think they commit all their resources to stopping Donald. They're going to double team him. They're going to have Joe Mixon in the backfield picking him up. I think they keep Drew Sample and CJ Uzomah in to chip more often than not. I don't think they're going to let Donald beat them necessarily in terms of getting sacks. I think he will, like you said, I think he'll be a major disruptor, but I think the guys getting sacks will be Vaughn, Leonard Floyd, those kind of guys.
Yeah, I mean, what I was impressed with the Bengals, specifically Hubbard and Hendrickson, were their ability to actually get to Mahomes and take him down. Stafford's not nearly as elusive as Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, not quite.
I think the Rams' offensive line, though, is a little bit better than the Chiefs' offensive line. But I feel like, Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard might just be more prone to have more sacks than Donald. So I'll take Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, let's do it.
He's a game wrecker.
He looks like that new version of Buzz Lightyear, kind of.
Yeah, he does. To infinity and beyond.
Over
All right.
under 1.5 combined touchdowns scored by Cooper Kupp, and this is a yes.
Wow.
This
Over,
is over.
please.
Come
Cup
on.
and Chase. Those guys will find the end zone. Guaranteed.
Cup and Chase sounds like a knockoff kids game.
Hey, I got you the Cup and Chase. I wanted. I don't know what the
Cup and ball. I don't know. Ball and cup. I don't know.
Ball and cup.
Yeah, it's when you can't afford the rights to ball and cup. You have to go with Cup and Chase.
Yeah. All right. Who will record more receiving yards? OBJ or High T Higgins?
Ooh. I like Higgins. I like Higgins. Just because they're gonna put Jalen Ramsey on Jamar Chase most of the game.
I like that too.
Higgins against Dante Dion, Darius Williams, those guys. He's a little bit of a mismatch.
Yeah, I like that too.
Beckham, I think, will have a good game too. I think all the receivers are gonna be running free. That's the fun of picking the over, is it opens up all these possibilities.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it just feels like even if the Rams defense plays very well against the Bengals for a while, you just kind of assume the Bengals are going to have a big quarter somewhere in that game where guys are going to get yards and receptions. Okay, this one I agree with. Who will have more rushing yards, Cam Akers or Joe Mixon? And I think you brought this up in the Super Bowl prediction episode. But the Rams now have a lot of options at running back. They've got Cam Akers. They should have Henderson coming back and Sony Michel. So there's just a chance Cam Akers gets fewer carries based on the Rams trying to deploy which running backs they think probably have the best matchup in certain situations. Whereas Joe Mixon's your guy in Cincy, outside of your occasional like Samaje Perine coming in to give him a break or, take a screen pass 60 yards to the house. But yeah, I think Joe Mixon will have more rushing yards. Is there any way you can see Cam Akers having more than Mixon?
Yeah, I think if he breaks a long one, it's possible, but I don't see him getting the touches necessarily to do it if he doesn't, just bust one up the gut for like 50 yards. I think Mixon really started to heat up at the end of the AFC Championship game, and I think that's going to carry over a little bit. You can see that Bengals O-line got confident in the run game near the end.
Imposing their will.
A little bit. Not quite as much the case pass blocking, but
for the Rams, awful. It's like it's just so hard to get past their front. But I feel like if you can just break that first wave of defense, you can. I mean, that's true for any defense, but I think it's really hard to do against the Rams because they're so good up front. But
yeah, their linebackers aren't anything really special. Exactly. I mean, Eric Weddle's the guy leading the team in tackles.
Yeah, we didn't even mention him in the fucking Super Bowl prediction. I keep forgetting he's there.
There's so many goddamn storylines. Yeah, he's played well.
Some Rams fans are like, he's better than Taylor Rapp. We like him better than Taylor Rapp back there.
Sign him.
So
it's a pretty incredible story. I think that people are talking about it. It's not under the radar, but to be retired for 2 seasons and 2 full seasons, and to just kind of be in shape, and the Rams give you a call, and you're all of a sudden you're playing like 60% of the snaps, if not more, in the playoffs, and you're going to the Super Bowl for the first time in your career is pretty incredible.
If Weddle has an interception in this game, Will, I think we got to make like a video, like Eric Weddle's insane playoff Super Bowl run, something like just highlighting what he did, because it's insane. First game back, I know he made tackles, but you didn't really hear too much. And then the second game, like he played pretty well. And I hope I hope he makes a play. I would love to make
the only
a
thing
Weddle.
that he's like screwed up on that I've seen is like an unnecessary roughness in that Bucks game.
Yeah.
That didn't really even cost him that bad. Yeah.
No, he forgot. Like you can't hit that hard anymore.
Yeah, the rules have changed since 2019.
Yeah. All right. Who will have more passing yards? This one's tough.
God,
Stafford
this is really hard.
Like my gut says Stafford. But I'm concerned because I think the Bengals secondary overall is better than the Rams. The Rams kind of get away with it because their defensive front's so good. But it's like every Rams game you watch where they win, they just find ways to get guys open. And Stafford always has to me, it's like he always has an eye on where the deep routes opening up. You know what I mean? Like that's what makes him so much fun to watch is he finds Cooper Kupp deep. He finds OBJ deep. He was finding Deshaun Jackson deep before he wanted to not play for his Super Bowl team for some dumb fucking reason. So consistently he's been there, but Burrow's got a 500 plus yard game. He's had a lot of 300-yard passing games. He just, even when he's hit and when he's beat down, the Bengals keep taking shots, even when they're not there. So it's tough. I'll go with whatever you think here, Will.
It's really a coin flip to me.
Yeah.
My first instinct was Burrow.
Ooh.
I don't know why. I see the Rams getting up early in this game and the Bengals making
I'll roll with that.
A furious comeback.
60% are taking Joe Shiesty.
Joe Shiesty versus Frat Stafford.
Frat Stafford. All right. Will the game be tied at any point in the second half?
Hell yes.
Yeah, we predicted a game-winning field goal, so 61% say yes. Okay. Who will record the longest offensive play in the first half? Wow, very specific. Wow.
I'm going to say...
Oh, it's just Rams or Bengals. I thought we were thinking players. Okay.
Yeah. But we should pick the player, too. I think the Bengals give Jamar Chase an end around that goes for 45 yards. Something crazy like that. Screen pass, end around.
Yeah, I kind of think it'll be T. Higgins, but
okay.
We'll go with the Bengals there.
Sure. It'll probably end up being a 29-yard
Cooper
Kupp play.
Yeah, I feel like Cooper Kupp, he did it twice to the Bucks in the first half, but we'll go Bengals. Who fucking knows? Over under 2.5 combined passing touchdowns by Stafford and Burrow in the first half. Damn. So one guy's got to have 2 passing TDs. The other guy's got to have 1 in the first half.
I think under.
Say under?
I think under. Yeah, I mean, these Super Bowls, the first quarter, there's typically not a lot of scoring in the first quarter
Usually
of Super Bowls.
Yeah, the first quarter is 2 teams trying not to shit their collective pants.
Pretty much. It's usually 0-0, 3-0 going into the second, and then you start to figure things out. We thought the Chiefs were going to figure things out at some point last year, and that never happened. It's
the first team comes on, they convert a first down on the first play, and then they're stopped 3 plays.
Yeah.
So it's say the Rams come out, they convert a first down, everybody's like, yeah, and then they get stopped. So then Bengals fans are like, yeah, we didn't blow it on the first drive. And then the exact same thing happens when they flip field. Bengals will get a first down and then they'll get stopped. Guys will settle.
They're feeling each other. They're feeling each other out for 15 minutes. That's kind of what I love about the Super Bowl. Is it just feels different.
Yeah. Then there are Super Bowls 48 where something just horrible happens on the first play.
Yeah. Yeah. I was actually watching NFL put out a video ranking all 55 Super Bowls.
Oh.
And that was 55th.
They thought that Super Bowl was that bad, huh?
The Broncos Super Bowls, or they're a lot on the back end.
Yeah, all
In
those
terms of
blowouts.
worst Super Bowls. Yeah,
I'll wear
unfortunately.
that with a badge of honor. I'll tell you what.
Mm-hmm,
All right.
mm-hmm.
Who will score the first touchdown of the game, Will? Any other
Oh, man.
player? Cooper Kupp, 23% pick. Jamar Chase, 8%. Joe Mixon, 7%.
I kind of like T. Higgins.
Other player. Boom.
The field is generally a good pick.
Yes.
For this one.
It always feels like somebody weird, especially if you're betting on it. All right. Will the opening kickoff result in a touchback? Oh.
I think Matt Gay is going to boot it to the 23-yard line, and the Bengals will return it 15 yards.
You want to say no then?
No. I think the Bengals will kick and it'll be a touchback. Excuse me.
All right. Here we go. Who will win the Super Bowl? Rams or Bengals? And now our MVP pick is going to have to coincide with this. So I think we both think the Rams are going to win. 54 taking the Rams, 46 taking the Bengals. Not to shit on the Cinderella story that is Cincinnati. I think both offenses, it's a heat. I think the Bengals have the kicking advantage, but I think the Rams have the defensive advantage. And Sean McVay having a Super Bowl under his belt, I think that helps. I think that helps a little bit.
Yeah. You could also say that Zach Taylor has a Super Bowl under his belt in the same way, but not as a head coach. Not as a head coach. So that's an important distinction. I'll say this: even if I did think the Bengals were going to win, I would not pick them because they have to be underdogs in order to achieve victory.
100% agree.
Let's just kind of zoom out, and we're gonna take the Rams, but I want to sit back and appreciate this game for what it is, because I can't remember the last time I watched the Super Bowl without like a very firm rooting interest.
Yeah. I know.
Usually it's, rooting against the Patriots or the Chiefs or the Steelers or rooting for the Broncos. But I'm not, it wouldn't be fair to say I'm ambivalent because I'm very much interested in this game, but I'm not tied down to, I'm going into this knowing who I'm rooting for.
I'm happy for whoever wins.
Right. And I'm going to be sad for whoever loses.
Yeah.
I'm emotionally invested, but I'm not invested to one way or the other.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes this game great.
It's Von Miller plus Matthew Stafford is why I'm going to pull for the Rams. Stafford's going to have, I think, fewer opportunities just based on his age to ever win a Super Bowl again. There's no guarantee that he'll get back here, especially the way the Rams kind of construct their team. And I know there's a lot about how they just leverage their first and second round picks and they employ they've made, I think, the second most draft picks of any other team since they started doing this, and they play a lot of guys that they do draft later in the draft. And I think it's an interesting way to build your team, and I think you can do it for a while, but getting to the Super Bowl, it's hard. And I know the Bengals, there's no chance they get back either, but I just really want Stafford to get a ring. I think he's earned it more than a lot of quarterbacks who do have rings just by his 12 years in Detroit. And we predicted Von Miller to win MVP, so we should take any other player here.
Should.
Should we double down and just say Stafford for our points?
Yeah, I mean, the smart pick is always to pick the quarterback. The last time a quarterback didn't win was Julian Edelman, which was kind of a farce.
Yeah.
When the Patriots defense held the Rams to 3 points.
Yeah.
But let's take Stafford.
Okay.
It's going to be hilarious when Matt Gay wins MVP.
Ooh, kicker. I had that thought earlier today that one of the kickers could win MVP, and I was leaning towards McPherson because
the narrative is there
that,
for McPherson.
Yeah, the game winner plus like there's the Raiders game. You know, he was 4 for 4 on field goal attempts in that game. He didn't have to kick the game winner there, but I was like, if he does 4 for 4 and kicks a game winner, he could win Super Bowl MVP. So,
yeah,
we'll see. All right, those are the picks. Good luck to everyone playing. Just not more luck to you than to Will and myself. Less
the most luck
to you than us.
Some luck.
Yeah,
I think that's
not
fair.
all of it.
It's a fair distribution of luck.
The moment you've been waiting for since September is finally here. The Super Bowl. The Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56, is giving new customers 56-1 odds on either team. Bet just $5 or more and get $280 in free bets if your team wins. Not a new customer? Bet on Super Bowl 56 props instead. DraftKings Sportsbook offers a wide range of prop bets for the big game. Take your shot at winning cash by predicting props like if a non-QB will throw a pass, fourth down conversions, total yardage, and so much more. And DraftKings is live in the great state of New York. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, use code DNVR, and get 56-1 odds on either team. Bet just $5 and get $280 in free bets if your team wins. That's promo code DNVR at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56. Now, my thumbnail for this video says this one's for Vaughn. And, Von Miller really, I think, appeasing Broncos fans at his Super Bowl media day, saying if it were up to him, he would have never left Denver. That he's considers himself a Coloradan, loves the Broncos, wanted to spend his whole career, reiterated everything we kind of already knew. Also, maybe giving us hope that if the Broncos want to go get him, they still can after this season. But I still want to see him get 2 Super Bowls. Otherwise, the trade feels really stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
It feels stupid anyway.
With the picks. Vaughn he's a bit of a people pleaser.
Oh my God. He's so good at it.
He's very good at it. He does his job quite well. But yeah, we're rooting for him. It would be awesome to see him win another MVP.
Yeah. Oh my God. If he was the first defensive player to get 2 Super Bowl MVPs, he's probably going to the Hall of Fame anyway, but damn, that would be something. That would be
pretty nice. Pretty nice.
He would have more Super Bowl MVPs than Peyton Manning, more than Aaron Rodgers, more than Joe Flacco,
Brett Favre. He already has more than Brett Favre.
More than Elway. Von Miller could have more Super Bowl MVPs than Elway. Think about that shit.
That's crazy.
That would be crazy. Okay. Hackett letting all of the coaches go, basically, Will.
Yeah.
Only one that was a surprise to me was Mike Munchak. I know they want to run outside zone or some shit. Maybe that's not exactly what Munchak does or coaches, but feels like he could probably figure it out. Feels like if you were going to keep one guy, that's the guy I thought they would keep, is my only point.
Yeah, I haven't been blown away by Munchak or anything. I think his best work has come with Garrett Bowles,
right?
To be sure. But no, I'm not heartbroken. I'm okay with the idea of change. I'm okay with the idea of I don't know, the running scheme was working pretty well last season. Pretty well, even without the threat of anything downfield, which is important. But yeah, I want to see how Javonte Williams fits in with a new scheme too. I think he had a really good rookie year, but it's still it feels like there was something to be had there.
It feels like they didn't reach their full potential.
Yeah.
I think too with Hackett making so many changes, it actually feels like there's going to be a different approach. Mm-hmm. So even like when Vance Joseph left and Vic Fangio came in, there was a certain amount of coaches that kind of stayed, and they were both defensive guys, and it never felt like I guess like a true changing of the guard, if you will. But new GM Peyton, new head coach Hackett, going to have new ownership, and Hackett's like, he's cleaning house. He's bringing in everybody he wants to bring in. They're getting a lot younger in the coaching department. And after the Super Bowl, they're expected to hire Ejiro Evero from the Rams. It's who they want as well. And like as a fan, you kind of get attached to some ideas, even though you know like shit needs to change. So I'm fine with it as well. Like I'm not surprised. I don't really care who the fucking second wide receiver coach is or who's the assistant running back coach or what. Like I'm not wishing anybody to get fired. Yeah, it's like I don't like none of us know who's good in any of those departments. So I'm going to trust the new head coach. Hopefully he's bringing in the good guys, and none of it will matter if you don't fix your quarterback. So that will be the thing we keep watching for.
Okay, so they're switching schemes a little bit in terms of the running game. You assume Melvin Gordon's kind of unlikely that he's going to be back. Do any of these names intrigue you in terms of free agents? David Johnson, Jalen Richard, Leonard Fournette, Phillip Lindsay.
I like Leonard Fournette.
I do too. I'm
not sure, like schematically, if it works, but we saw how much Tom Brady started to rely on him in the passing game. And if you kind of have two running backs that can punish you a little bit between Williams and Fournette, like if you don't have to pay a lot for him, I think he's an interesting name. Keep going though.
Interesting. Lindsay is half a year older than Leonard Fournette, which feels
that
illegal.
Is weird. Because Leonard looks like he's 45.
Yeah. Lindsay looks like he's 18. I think you're gonna like this one, although he's 31 years old. Cordero Patterson.
Oh, yeah. Give me the wide receiver running back hybrid. I think he's going to stay. I think the Falcons will bring him back.
I think
that'd get me excited.
1 year deal. Raheem Mostert, I think, would be a really intriguing.
That's
fit.
A nice change of pace.
He is about 30 years old. Here's an interesting one. I think he's going to cost a lot, though. Rashad Penny.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, because Mostert already played in that scheme, right, in San Francisco. Rashad Penny.
It's only 26.
Just kind of started
to
blow up, play really well for the Seahawks after not doing anything for 3 years.
Yeah.
He had some injury in there, but he's kind of explosive. I would take a chance on Penny. I'd take a chance on Penny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're taking – it's hard to say you're taking a chance on him. Because he is he's gonna cost a pretty penny, I think. No pun intended.
See, I don't think they're gonna go after a running back.
You don't think so? Not well. I mean, you could just settle down Williams, with Javonte and Mike Boone.
They got Mike Boone, and you can draft if you want another running back. You can take one later. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, we got here's some names in the draft. I don't expect you to weigh in on any of them. Breece Hall, Isaiah Spiller. Just tell me if you like the names. Breece Hall, Isaiah Spiller, Kenneth Walker III.
Any relation to CJ Spiller?
I don't know. Let's say yes.
Then yes, like it.
Rashad White, Damian Pierce, Kyron Williams, Brian Robinson Jr., James Cook, Jerrion Ely, Jerome Ford. James Cook. Out of Georgia. Okay.
He's a lot like James Conner and Dalvin Cook. James Cook.
Ooh, here's a
James
name.
Conner's going to be a free agent too.
He is, yeah. There's a little bit of a market.
James Conner. I like James Conner.
Here's a good name, Pierre Strong Jr.
Oh.
What if you double up on Strongs in the draft? Carson and Pierre.
Carson and Pierre.
Zonovan Knight. Zonovan, but with a Z. Or Donovan, but with a Z.
That's the guy. Not
Zonovan
even question.
Knight.
Zonovan Knight.
And then we got
Knight me, Sir Donovan. Zonovan. Knight me, Sir Zonovan.
Hassan Haskins. All right, here's a crazy one. Sincere McCormick. Sincere.
That is the most interesting Irish name I've ever heard.
We got a Tyrion in here. Like Game of Thrones. Tyrion Davis Price. Might be Tyrion. I don't know.
All right, that's enough. That's enough names. I got more shit to talk about before we get out of here.
Yeah, okay. I could do this forever.
Were you surprised Eric Bieniemy didn't get a job offer again, Will?
No. Definitely not.
Do you think he's going to go back to Kansas City?
He should. I mean, he probably shouldn't if he wants to become a head coach. Like, he's gonna have to prove himself somewhere else. Eventually.
I think that's the thing. I think it's really hard to evaluate him as a coach when you have Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. Not saying it's fair compared to other guys who've gotten opportunities because they coach good quarterbacks. Yeah, I mean, you could argue Nathaniel Hackett. But I think if his contract's up, I'm sure the Chiefs want him back, but I think he should be like, let me go offensive coordinate somewhere else and show that you idiots should have hired me as a head coach long ago. And, but he's got to coach somebody up. It's like, I don't know where that's going to be. It feels like offensive coordinator positions are kind of starting to fill up, so I don't even know what his options are.
Yeah, that's kind of a tough one.
Unless the Saints could bring him in.
Did Mike Kafka leave?
Yeah, he went to the Giants.
Okay, so they'll probably just bring him back then. The Chiefs.
Who knows? All right. Before we do ownership, I just wanted to touch on Russell Wilson for a second. I found this very funny.
Touch upon Russell Wilson.
Because I've seen his name starting to float around. Russell Wilson could go to the Eagles. Russell Wilson wants to be traded. And I just wanted to discuss the evolution of a soundbite here, Will, because Albert Breer in a mailbag question. So these are fan-imposed questions. He answers this question about Russell Wilson. What's going to happen with Wilson? He says he does not know. He's like, I don't know. Heard the Seahawks owner is in favor of keeping Wilson, which obviously makes sense. The question is what Pete Carroll wants to do, what Russell Wilson wants to do. He says, but if I had to guess, so he's just making a guess. He's not basing it on any sources, anything
gun to his head.
Just a guess. Russell Wilson will be moved. Just as a guess from Albert Breer. But Albert Breer, that's a big name, works for NFL Network. We all know who he is. That's how I originally saw that thing. Albert Breer in a mailbag says he thinks if he had to guess. And then just 24 hours later, articles start popping up. There's a new team that emerges as the favorite to land Russell Wilson because he said if I had to pick the Eagles, because he knows Howie Roseman wanted to draft Russell Wilson. Eagles have a quarterback, so I think that's a stretch. But maybe the Seahawks would be interested in acquiring Jalen Hurts in some sort of trade. So maybe, I'm not saying it's crazy, but it's just so annoying. And as somebody who obviously takes advantage of QB trade rumors, myself and you, to make videos, it's just starting to get annoying. Like we can't go a week without these things dying. without some sort of fucking soundbite or one tiny piece of info. And then after 24 hours, after it's been cycled through some tweets and some people read a certain way, it turns into people now think like, oh yeah, Russell Wilson, good chance of going the Eagles now. Good chance of going the Eagles based on a guess. I get annoyed with it. And I really want the Broncos to make a play for Russell Wilson if they have to, but fuck, man. We are all screwed.
It is that time of the year.
Yeah.
No, that's a really, really good point, I think, in terms of the anatomy of like a headline. And you trace it back to its original source, and it's just a dude guessing. It's a reputable guy, but it's not someone saying, you know, this is per sources, this is my insider information, this is me just taking a shot in the dark.
Yeah. Doesn't matter how you phrase things. People will hear and see what they want to.
The headlines do not do that justice.
No. Okay. Broncos ownership situation. We're getting a little bit more news here. Byron Allen has emerged as a name to purchase the Broncos.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, no, not interested. And it's just because I didn't know who Byron Allen was. Then I found out he owns the Weather Channel. So he controls
the weather. Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. What kind of home field advantage is that? If we know what the weather is actually going to be.
That's something. I think I thought for a long time that the Patriots controlled the weather.
Yeah.
I don't think they do anymore. Well, they might still. They might have turned the wind up in Buffalo that one time. So that's not out of the question.
Premature.
Yeah. No, I like this. We already have altitude and the air, oxygen on our side.
Now we got snow when the opponent's trying to play offense, and then
rain,
sun when Aaron Rodgers and the Broncos offense goes back out on the field.
Yeah, let's say like the offense gets cold for a second, dial up a lightning delay, perhaps.
Ooh, there we go. Warm them up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So then another name that I hadn't heard is Los Angeles billionaire Alec Gores.
I think you can leave out the billionaire part. I think we've assumed that they're all billionaires.
Byron Allen isn't.
He's what?
He's only worth $405 million, but he can be part of. He can get the money.
But he would still be I thought he was going to be the majority owner. Still.
Yeah, I think he would have like 10%, something.
Oh, okay. Well, this is a big group then. All right. Well, I apologize. I guess they're not all billionaires.
So a different group, Alec Gore, an investment group interested in buying the team, combined net worth of $10 billion with some other dude. Dean Metropolis. That's another group. They'll be bidding against Manning's group, and they'll be bidding against Elway's group. And nobody knows any details still about Elway's group or Manning's group. So these are four legit supposed parties. The interesting thing with Manning now is if they win the bid, then Peyton and Eli are also continuing with the Manning cast through 2024. Yeah. So that will be a situation we've never seen before. An owner who's got, Jerry Jones is on the radio like every fucking week in Dallas, but national broadcast every week, that would be good for the Broncos. That would be very good for the Broncos. And I think that's what I really want Elway or Manning's group to be able to buy it because
of course.
I think what we all got spoiled with Pat Bowlen was an owner who was legitimately interested in the team succeeding. And I don't know if any of these other groups care about that. It feels like they want it as something rich people can have. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, Byron Allen has stated that he is a Broncos fan. Has been a
I would
Broncos
say that
fan.
too if I was about to buy a team.
Yeah,
how many times have they ever talked about Byron Allen, almost billionaire Broncos fan? Never heard it. Never once heard it. I'm not saying he would be a bad owner either. I don't know. I just don't know him. I don't know this other group. I want the group with Manning or Elway attached because I think there'll be a level of pride and commitment to the team with those guys on board that you're just uncertain with the other groups.
This is really interesting. So I'm looking at Byron Allen's career on Wikipedia. And I almost had to check to make sure this is the same guy. But the first line in his career section in Wikipedia, comedian Jimmy Walker saw Byron Allen's stand-up act and invited the 14-year-old comedian to join his comedy writing team alongside promising young comedians Jay Leno and David Letterman.
Wow.
At age 18, Allen made his television debut on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. One of his earliest roles was as a regular presenter on the NBC series Real People, joining the cast at the beginning of the second season. So he was... So he's a comedian.
I made a parody of the real world in college called Real People for one of my video classes. So maybe Byron Allen's the right guy. Maybe he's got comedy in his blood. Maybe he would elevate this show to the highest of highs. Maybe I want Byron Allen now. He controls the weather, got comedy in his blood. I stated that was something I liked about Hackett. Okay, fine. Byron Allen also can buy it with Manning or Elway.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it. I think that's quite the resume.
It really is.
Comedians not generally the best at managing money.
No, but so he's worth over 400 mil. So
yeah, imagine if he wasn't a comedian, then he really would be a billionaire.
He'd be a 10 billionaire.
Yeah. So I like this. I like this. He had a show called Kicking It with Byron Allen.
Damn. I also edited a show called Kicking It.
This is eerie.
It's lining up.
I know. No kidding.
Was it called Kicking It? It was with Timothy DeLaGhetto. It was a shoe show. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next week talking about the Super Bowl, probably, and maybe some Broncos news. Who knows? You made it to the end. Good night.
And John Elway plays entire career without an ACL.
Good luck.